On the frozen surface of the Arctic, winter reigns with absolute, deadly force. The surface appears empty, but beneath it, something is still alive. Deep beneath the permafrost, isolated from the freezing wind, lies a hidden sanctuary. Inside this quiet, pitch-black chamber, a mysterious shape rests in absolute stillness. These delicate features belong to an Arctic ground squirrel, buried deep in winter sleep. A warm-blooded mammal, yet its body temperature has plunged far below the freezing point. Is it dead, or is it frozen solid? Remarkably, this creature is still alive. How can a warm-blooded mammal fall below freezing and wake up alive? Before the deep sleep, there was life on the vast, unforgiving Arctic surface. The squirrel was a master of movement, navigating the complex and drying tundra. Every action was driven by instinct, a race against the inevitable turn of the season. It feeds with purpose, building the vital energy reserves required to survive the coming winter. The body prepares for a future the animal cannot see, but deeply feels. A short summer has ended, and the time for surface life is closing. The first warnings arrive not as a storm, but as a subtle change in light. Frost begins to claim the surface, hardening the ground and silencing the landscape. The world grows less generous, and the surface becomes a place of exposure. This is not a farewell, but a calculated retreat into the Earth's embrace. The time for activity is over. The time for survival has truly begun. The squirrel vanishes before the winter can fully claim the surface world. The Arctic surface erases the small traces of its presence with every gust. Now, only the wind remains above, while life waits in the silence below. Escaping winter is only the first step. Now the animal must transform how its body uses energy. This is not simply a long, ordinary sleep. Something deeper is about to begin. The squirrel is preparing the exact space where its body will undergo the extreme winter state. Its posture shifts, reducing exposed surface area to conserve vital warmth. By folding itself into a tight, natural ball, the body begins to slow its pace. Active movement ceases. The muscles relax as the first signs of physiological shutdown take hold. Above ground, winter is becoming stronger, locking the tundra in ice.
Below ground, the squirrel is becoming slower, protected from the violent storms above. The body has entered deep torpor. It no longer operates like an active, warm-blooded mammal. Visible signs of life have become almost impossible to detect. The surrounding earth continues to freeze, encroaching upon the silent, sleeping body. The body temperature continues to fall, 30 degrees, 20, 10, 5, still falling. For most mammals, 0 is a boundary. But this animal is still descending.
0 degrees. For most mammals, this temperature sounds like a boundary, the final edge of survival.
But for this creature, the threshold is just the beginning. The internal descent continues into the unknown.
The temperature keeps falling. It drops below 0. Yet, remarkably, the squirrel remains alive in the deep cold. Outside the burrow, the Arctic world follows the standard laws of physics. Water behaves as it always must. Ice crystals spread across the tundra, locking surface water into rigid, frozen structures as the winter air tightens. A mammal's body is mostly water. If the world freezes, why doesn't the water inside do the same? The stillness here is profound. No frost forms on the fur. No ice encases the soft, vulnerable limbs. Scientific observation reveals a strange state of matter. Below 0 does not always mean a substance must be frozen. Under specific conditions, a liquid can remain fluid even when cooled far below its normal freezing point.
This is the state of supercooling. It is a delicate balance, for the real enemy is not cold.
The real enemy is ice. When crystals grow, they become jagged needles that can destroy delicate biological structures. The Arctic ground squirrel has crossed that dangerous line. Its body is sub-zero, but it is not solid. It exists in a biological suspension. The impossible part is not the cold, but how it stays unfrozen. If its body is below freezing, why doesn't the water inside it turn to ice? If its body is below freezing. Why doesn't the water inside it turn to ice? A liquid can cross below its ordinary freezing threshold and still remain liquid. This unstable physical state is known as supercooling.
Freezing cannot occur spontaneously. It requires a starting point called nucleation.
Once the first crystal forms, the entire liquid balance is disrupted. Once a crystal begins to grow, the physical transition accelerates rapidly.
Mobile liquid is transformed into a rigid, unyielding, solid structure.
A living body is not an empty container. It is made of delicate cells. Ice forming in the wrong place can physically tear these vital structures apart. This squirrel does not survive winter by becoming a solid block of ice. It survives the deep sub-zero cold by remaining completely unfrozen. For weeks at a time, the animal maintains this fragile, supercooled state. How long can a mammal remain this close to shutdown before it must restart? This is not a laboratory demonstration. Deep beneath the tundra, a real mammal survives. The Arctic ground squirrel lies in deep torpor, suspended between active life and absolute cold. Above, the Arctic winter deepens, turning the tundra surface into an increasingly hostile, frozen desert. New snow accumulates rapidly, building a thick, insulating blanket over the hidden burrows below. Sealed away under feet of frozen earth, the nest is completely cut off from the storm. While the environment above is violent, this tiny underground chamber remains perfectly calm and stable. Inside this quiet nest, the animal's physical movement has completely ceased to conserve precious energy. Its body operates on the absolute minimum power, carrying out only the most vital biological functions. Weeks pass by,
as the weak Arctic sun barely rises above the frozen, white horizon. The surface landscape is constantly reshaped, erasing all traces of life in the freezing wind.
The active Arctic world goes on. Above, other creatures must constantly search for scarce food. But below, the squirrel is completely absent from this harsh, ongoing struggle for winter survival. To the eye, almost nothing appears to be happening. Yet, life has not stopped. We assume the animal stays like this all winter. But that is not what happens. It would be easy to think the squirrel stays this way until spring. But natural hibernation is not one single, continuous sleep. Long before the eyes open, the body begins to change.
Deep internal signals initiate a profound physiological shift.
This animal is not waiting for the Arctic to warm it. It actively begins producing essential heat from deep within. Energy use rises rapidly as the dormant system reboots. The quiet body becomes metabolically active once more. Now, the invisible internal restart becomes externally visible. Muscle tone returns as the warm blood circulates. The body that seemed almost switched off is returning to life. Its sensory systems and natural reflexes are waking up. Deep beneath the winter tundra, the squirrel wakes. Its body has successfully accomplished the impossible rewarming. Why spend precious energy waking up when winter is still waiting? It would be easy to think the animal stays like this all winter, but it doesn't. Long before the eyes open, the body begins to change. Inside the body, an entire physiological system has been changing. Deep in winter, the squirrel wakes. Why? Outside has not become warmer. The heat must come from the animal itself. This animal is not waiting for the Arctic to warm it. It begins making heat from within. Specialized brown adipose tissue helps convert stored chemical energy into non-shivering warmth. The return demands massive energy. Breathing increases as oxygen levels surge. The body that seemed almost switched off is becoming active again. But hibernation is not one continuous sleep. Long before the eyes open, the body begins to change. The squirrel is now fully awake, performing essential maintenance inside its secure burrow. Why spend so much energy waking up when winter is still waiting outside? It would be easy to think the animal stays like this all winter, but it doesn't. Long before the eyes open, the body begins to change. It would be easy to think the squirrel stays but is this way until spring, but it doesn't. Long before the eyes open, coming back is expensive. Stored fuel must become heat. Breathing and metabolism rise. The body pays a massive energetic price for every return. Why would evolution preserve such a costly cycle? The answer remains a mystery. Emergence. But winter is not over. It cannot return to the surface, and waking costs precious energy. Through winter, this animal survives by moving constantly between two extraordinary states. Eventually, the frozen Arctic landscape begins to shift and change. The winter snow loosens, and hidden earth is slowly exposed. water begins to move freely beneath the pale northern light. The deep freeze retreats, letting the ancient surface breathe once more. Deep below, the quiet animal is moving actively once again. The physical extremes of winter are gone, replaced by steady motion. Sensing the external world, the survivor approaches the final exit. Emerging from the darkness, life returns to the open surface. Normal activity resumes as the body simply begins to live. All winter, the Arctic looked empty. But beneath, life had waited. Survival here means becoming colder than we thought life could survive.